Hi, I know that there are a lot of things that are happening because of the coronavirus. It's not just the fear and the scare and lack of toilet paper or the buying of the foods and trying to stock up and quarantining, but also the stock markets, also the flights, also the jobs, also the layoffs, also the restriction, also the famine that is to come. All these things that are happening concerning because or as a result, a ricochet effect nonetheless, because of the coronavirus. Now, it is very important for us to understand and to see the times that we're living in. What I'm going to do is today I'm going to share different documents in this video, so please stay tuned. One of the documents is a fellow YouTube friend of mine sent me some information that I'm going to look into that first so that I can give some credit to her. Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing this information with me. Second, and I'm sure some of the information many of us have found, and if you have anything that you'd like to share so that we can come together as a community and inform each other, then it would be absolutely wonderful. Next, I'm going to talk about the CSSE. If some of you do not have the link to the site, I will post the link below, and I'm also going to cover it. The CSSE is actually the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. It's supposedly in real time on how much the coronavirus is spreading and how far it's gone throughout this world. Next, I will be sharing on how long is the incubation period on the coronavirus. I also found a website that has all the information that I've gathered from all these different sources, and it's put into this one document. Post that on here and I'll be reading it along with you. Now, I'm sure some of you already have some of this information. This is just gathering it as a lump sum. So lo and behold, thank you and welcome to Stay Strong channel. Do not forget to like and subscribe and share. Let's get started. Okay, well, thank you, Amy. Here we go. It says, my sis sent me this, Laritza. May the Lord Jesus be with you every moment. She goes, hey guys, passing along the message from a friend at Stanford Hospital Board. This is their feedback on the coronavirus. The new coronavirus may not show the signs of infections. Many of us already know this because it's been on the news, and I received this a couple of days ago. So some of it might be already received, but there might be new information on here. So please stay tuned. It says, the new coronavirus may not show signs of infection for many days. How can one know if he or she is infected? By the time they have a fever and or cough and go to the hospital, the lungs usually 50% fibrosis, and it's too late. Taiwan experts provide a simple self-check that we can do every single morning. Take a deep breath and hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, there, took a deep breath. If you complete successfully without coughing, without discomfort, stiffness, or tightness, etc., it proves that there is no fibrosis in the lungs, basically indications of no infection. In critical time, please, excellent advice by the Japanese doctors testing and treating COVID cases. Everyone should self-check every morning in the environments with clean air. Take it seriously. Should ensure that the mouth, you need to make sure that your mouth and throats are always moist and never dry. Take a few sips of water every 15 minutes at least. Why? Even if the virus gets into your mouth, drinking water or even liquids will wash them away through the throat and into the stomach, and once they're there, your stomach acids will kill the virus. If you do not drink enough water, if you do not drink enough water more regularly, the virus can enter into your windpipe and get into your lungs. That's very dangerous. Please send and share with the friends and family. Take care, everyone, and may the world recover from this coronavirus soon. Please forward to your kids and your friends. Next, we're going to look at coronavirus global cases by the Center of Systems Science and Engineering, CSSE, by Johns Hopkins University. Here on the left-hand side, you have 155,923 cases, and apparently this is on real time. You have here on the left-hand side you can navigate through it, and you see here Spain, and it goes according to the highest number. It starts with China, Italy, Iran, and then it goes all the way down to Guadalupe. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the US. You're going to see that the US is right under France. It's above United Kingdom. So you can go here and click on US or go on the actual map. And here you're going to see on the right hand side the death tolls. Right here's the death tolls and the number recovered. So it breaks it down and it separates it for you. And here you have more information as well on the lower right hand side. So you can navigate through it on your own time. What I'm going to do right now is open up the screen for you and we can see the US. Like I said, it's apparently real time. I'm going to zoom in on North America. You go on the upper right hand side, it explains to you why some of the little circles are bigger than others. Here you see from 5,000 to 70,000, it's the huge one, and then it goes all the way down to 1 through 5 deaths or people infected. So you can choose your state. I'm going to go here and take a look at New York, US. And over here it says 525 are confirmed with coronavirus. There are 2 deaths and active to 523. So that is from the CSSE, and then you can close this out. How long does the coronavirus last on a surface? And once again, I'm going to put the information on the description below. This is the one that's most direct and clear of what I found so far. Why don't you read along with me? Potentially several hours or even days, according to the blueprint published this week by researchers in National Institutions of Health, Princeton, and University of California, Los Angeles. The researchers exposed various materials to the virus in the lab. They found that it remained virulent on surfaces for a lengthy period, from up to 24 hours on a cardboard, which I've heard a lot more. Sometimes I heard 2 days, sometimes I hear 1 day, sometimes I found, but mostly I've seen here that it's 24 hours on a cardboard, up to 2 to 3 days on plastic and stainless steel. It also remains viable in aerosols attached to particles that stay aloft in the air for up to 3 hours. Remember, up to 3 hours. It could be in the air. That's why it was so contagious. It's not really that it's horrible. It killed a few people, but it went all over the world in such a short period of time. Things got contaminated. People touch things. They touch their face. It's in the air. So it's more about how contagious it is, and that's what I've seen here. And it's not, I don't think it's any cause to extreme panic, but remember, this is going to play into the economy crash. This is going to play into the fear tactics. This is going to play into giving liberty up for the greater so-called good of mankind. That is all basically in line with the stability of SARS, the coronavirus that caused an outbreak in the early 2000s. The research cautioned that work done in the lab may not be reflect on how long the virus can hang around on a surface out in the world, but because it's different in a lab than in the world, it might go through different circumstances. But it is critical part of understanding the virus and how to forestall the disease from spreading, for its spread, and all at the same. That's because transmission dynamics are different to study in the midst of the epidemic. In hospitals and other public spaces, people are doing their best to disinfect, making it difficult to study how microbes behave in the wild. And similarly, while the researchers test how long the virus can survive an aerosol suspended in the air, they didn't actually sample the air around the infected people. Instead, they put the virus in a nebulizer, which is different than actually studying the air around the people. Nebulizer, and puffed it into a rotating drum to keep it airborne. Then they tested how long the virus could survive in the air outside the drum. The fact that it could live under these conditions for 3 hours doesn't mean it's gone airborne. wow, that's good, that it hangs around so long in the air that a person can get it just by sharing the airspace with an infected person. This is not evidence of an aerosol transmission. Well, I don't know. I would keep my guard up just in case. Neto van Dorman, a researcher at the NIH, and her study continued on Twitter. Okay, forgive me because some of these words I cannot read. You can read it for me. There's also a difference between a finer aerosol, which can hang suspended in the air for a while, and larger droplets, which is more likely to fall down. When the infected person coughs or sneezes, they typically spread the virus via liquid droplets. While the results of the virus remains infectious in the air, there's little evidence so far that infected people are producing aerosols in significant amounts rather than droplets. Still, Joseph Allen, a professor of public health at Harvard, who wasn't involved in this study, says that the data supports the idea that people should take practical precautions to prevent the airborne spread. Yes, duh. Doing things like ensuring the flow of fresh air is good ventilation. And good ventilation, let's get ventilated, right? He points out that the methods of transmission should be thought of as a spectrum, and that the difference between droplets and aerosols is so stark. We shouldn't be waiting to figure out the exact split between transmissions mode before we act. We should just be taking it all an approach. And he wrote an email to Wired, and this exact link that I'm sharing with you. Thank you so much. Be blessed and have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day.